What if I told you that one of Love and Hip Hop's longest-standing couples just exploded on camera in front of the entire cast, and the cameras did not stop rolling? No cheating rumor, no mystery DM, just a man looking dead into his wife's eyes and saying, "I don't want to be with you anymore." Period. No tear, no hesitation, and that man Kirk Frost. Yep, Kirk Frost the same. Kirk, whose cheated lead gaslit and cried on cue for 12 seasons. Straight just flipped the damn script and nuked his own marriage in 12 seconds flat. ID happened during a healing couples scene. You know, the fake peace talk they do before reunion week. Rashida was trying to rebuild while Kirk was secretly rehearsing his breakup monologue like it was the BET Awards. The moment he said it, producers froze. Rashida blinked like she'd been slapped by God, and Mona Scott whispered off camera, "Do not cut, you want scandal, yowant, betrayal. This ain't just reality TV, this is a televised heartbreak with a plot twist that no one saw coming." Let's get into it, let's rewind this disaster, shall we? It was supposed to be a calm shoot day. VH1 producers told everyone it was just a couples therapy circle, sit on couches, sip mimosas, cry about loyalty, then leave with fake promises of growth. You know, the usual scripted fluff to soften up the reunion week. Rashida arrived first like a true L-hole veteran face, beat edges, laid heels, lethal. She even brought her handwritten healing notes. Yes sis, really had bullet points for how to fix Kirk. Bullet points. And then in walks Kirk, not angry, not even defensive, just blank like he was already somewhere else. Rashida stands to greet him, he barely hugs her, and you could feel at the tension, the distance, that "I'm about to ruin your whole reality TV identity" energy radiating off this man like cheap cologne. They sit down, monojeeves. The nod, cameras roll, and the producers prompt the first question. "So where are you two emotionally right now?" Before Rashida can even exhale, Kirk looks straight at her and says it with the coldness of a man who has rehearsed this in the mirror 20 times. "I don't want to be with you anymore." Boom. Silence. One. Boom. Silence of the mic operators literally drops his boom pole. Carly Red's jaw dislocates. Scrappy sits up, like someone mentioned child support. Even Mona's assistant, who's seen it all, gasps so hard her lashes fall off. Rashida sis just stares, doesn't blink, doesn't breathe. She looks like she's buffering in real life. Then, after what feels like a full minute of dead air, Rashida finally speaks. "Wait, are you being funny right now? Is this a storyline setup?" Kirk doesn't flinch. No, Kirk doesn't flinch. "I've been thinking about this for a long time, and just like that, 15 years of chaos, cheating scandals, fake counseling, DNA tests, and apology rings got thrown in the trash, like Kirk's old biker vests. Now let's be honest, Kirk ain't exactly husband of the year material. This man had a baby with a stripper, lied on camera, cried in every season like he's auditioning for Tyler Perry, and somehow Rashida still held him down for what, a joint boutique and a blue check. So imagine the betrayal when she gets blindsided on set. No warning, no heads up, no let's talk privately, just full public execution. And the cast, they were eating ID up. Young jock in the back whispering, "Damn, he really said that." Spice filming it on her phone. "Light me, have receipt." Chili Bambi pretending to be shocked but smiling just a little too hard. The comments started rolling in within minutes. Yes, minutes, because remember, Mona, don't play. As soon as that footage hit the drive, her social team had preview leaks ready, and the internet cooked fried extra crispy. Here are just a few fan comments. At Queen of Ladle, Kirk left Rashida on SCT. We watched her fan comments build that man like IKEA furniture. At Toxisha Time, he said, "I'm done." Like she was his manager at Target. This ain't no marriage, it's a contract cancellation. At Ho Ursula, after all them cheat codes he used in the game of life, he rage quit. But wait, it gets worse. Rashida didn't walk out. Nope, she stayed, sat there, quietly swallowed the pain, and then she thanked him. Yes, you read that correctly. She looked Kirk dead in his heartless eyes and said, "Thank you for saying it." The mood flipped out loud. "So now I don't have to keep pretending." And that's when the mood flipped. You ever watch a woman realize in real time that she wasted over a decade trying to fix a man who was never broken, just bad? Yeah, that moment everyone else on set suddenly got quiet. Even Mona gave her that look, like, "Damn girl, you finally done." And Kirk didn't say a word, he just sat there stone-faced. Edis wasn't spontaneous, like he hadn't just bodies slammed his entire marriage into the group chat. But what fans don't know is this wasn't spontaneous. No, Kirk had been planning this for weeks. According to one insider, a production assistant who asked to remain anonymous, Kirk had been secretly talking to someone else behind the scenes. A certain spicy female rapper from the ATL scene. And no, we're not talking about Omar La Negra. She's out. We're talking about someone bolder, louder, and definitely more disrespectful. Yep, you guessed it, Reinie Rucci. But After the cameras stopped rolling, hold up, we'll get to her in video because before we dive into Kirk's sneaky nights and rooftop dinners, let's talk about what happened after the cameras stopped rolling. Well, correction. They didn't stop rolling. Mona doesn't do cut after Kirk walked off. Rashida sat in that chair for a full 15 minutes. No tears, just silence. Then she looked into the camera and said let him go. If he wanted to stay, he would have stayed, and a new storyline. I've stayed long enough for the both of us, mic drop. And with that she got up, fixed her ponytail, and walked off like a damn queen. But what she didn't know was that Kirk wasn't going home alone. He was going straight into another scene, a whole new storyline with a new woman and a new betrayal. That would blow the internet to pieces, and guess who walked into that scene? 45 minutes later, Reinie Rucci in a red bodycon, heels, and a smirk that said, yeah, I took your man, what about it? So let's set the scene. Just 45 minutes after Kirk Frost looked a soft launch scandal Rashida in the eye and told her on camera, I don't want to be with you anymore. He was already filming another scene, new location, new energy, and guess what walks in like she owns the damn franchise? Reinie freaking Rucci. Now look, say what you want about Reinie, but sis, don't play background. She came in hot red dress stilettos that could puncture a Range Rover tire, edges so sharp they could cut Kirk's loyalty in half. Not that there was much left to cut, and that walk, that was not the walk of a just friend. This wasn't a casual meet, this was a soft launch scandal with confessional ready lighting. Kirk greets her like they've been vibing for months, and guess what? According to multiple off-the-record sources, they have apparently. Kirk greets her, this ain't news sources from production, yeah, the same ones who leaked Omar's trailer kiss with Safari last year told us that Reinie and Kirk were spotted together weeks before filming even started. A private dinner in Buckhead studio session that didn't involve music, that awkward moment when Kirk allegedly paid for Reinie's flight to New York but told Rashida he was at his cousin's funeral. So this scene, it wasn't Kirk moving on, it was Kirk getting caught in 4000 again. And how did they spin it like pros? Kirk sits down, and before the director can even yell action, Reinie leans in and says, you finally done pretending? Kirk smirks like a teenage boy who just got caught cheating on a high school math test and goes, yeah, I had to stop lying to myself. Excuse me, lying to yourself? Boy, you've been lying to Rashida, to Mona, to the IRS, hell, probably to your barber. Don't act like this is a spiritual awakening. And let's be honest, Reinie knew exactly what she was doing. She didn't show up looking like that just for tea and closure. She came to make a statement. She came to step on Rashida's storyline like a runway. But oh baby, the internet wasn't having it. The clip leaked, of course, and within 2 hours, Reinie Rucci was social media reaction trending on Twitter. Right under #scumbag season, and Rashida deservest. Let's take a quick look at some of the best comments, shall we? At straight out at this man threw away 15 years for Reinie's acrylics and an IG caption that said, healing era, y'all men are hopeless at Elenastia. Reinie Rucci, the type to post God sent me peace while sitting next to someone else's husband at Rashid donation, protect Rashida at all costs, Kirk out. The wild part here, recycling women like expired leftovers, and that's not even the wild part. The wild part is what Reinie posted that same night on her close friend's story, which of course got screen recorded faster than Kirk's respect disappeared. She posted this quote, sometimes you got to take what's yours and stop asking for permission, with a photo of Kirk's chain on her dresser. Y'all, this man just handed over his marriage, his image, and his jewelry, like Reinie was collecting trophies for the messiest woman alive. Meanwhile, Rashida still quiet, no oi posts, no comments. Just one tweet the next morning. When you try to rebuild someone, you forget they never had a foundation. Few you know what that young Jeezy is. That's a woman who just realized the man she loved didn't just fall short. He was never even standing, but you thought cast would stay quiet. Hell no, because you know who had the nerve to comment on the video. Young jock, yes, the same man who can't keep track of his own baby mamas but always has something to say about someone else's mess. He dropped 3 words under the Reinie x Kirk kiss. Reinie x Kirk, real this ain't it? And guess what happened next? Reinie clapped back. She reposted Jock's comment with a screenshot of a text message from him that said, you still fine as hell though. Yes, Chowry Sabbage got exposed mid-opinion, and now the fans are turning on him too. So now you've got Kirk walking around like he just escaped prison, Reinie parading around in Rashida's old Chanel, Rashida giving us poetic heartbreak tweets like she's dropping an R&B mixtape, and Jock trying to clean up his own mess before Kendra finds his phone. Oh, did I forget to mention Kendra? She's about to enter this battlefield in video. But before we get there, let's talk Mona Scott about Mona Scott, because you know, Mama Mona is behind this chaos. Let's be real, she probably scheduled the scene with Kirk And Reinie, before Rashida even knew there was a breakup coming, one crew member said Mona was overheard saying, "This ain't just TV, this is the reboot I'm giving." Lo, it's Game of Thrones moment. And let's be clear, she's not wrong, this is the biggest, oldest, messiest scandal the franchise has had in years. No fake cheating rumor, no staged German Mark leak. This was a full televised breakup, Ray coupling, and viral betrayal, Kendra Wilkinson, all in 48 hours. Even Bet tried to call Mona for licensing rights, but let's not get ahead of ourselves, because while Kirk and Reinie were busy locking lips on balconies, while Jock was getting caught texting side chicks, and while fans were writing petitions to get Rashida her own spin-off, something was bubbling, and its name. Kendra. She saw the live, she saw the texts, she saw Jock defending Rashida again, and baby, she wasn't about to stay silent, she was coming for Rashida, for Jock, and for anyone who thought this love triangle was cute. Next, let's just say it doesn't end with a reunion, it ends with a scream, a slap, and a scandal that no one saw coming. So where were we? Oh yeah, Kirk had just handed over his entire marriage like a free sample. At Costco, Reinie Rucci had kissed him on camera, worn his chain, and posted his Kendra Robinson hoodie on her close friends like it was a Grammy nomination. Young Jock had inserted himself into the mess again, and Rashida, silent but deadly. But now we bring in the nuclear weapon, Kendra. Yes, Kendra Robinson, lawyer by day, fed up Jock wife by night, walked straight into the Love and Hip Hop set like she had courtroom papers in one hand and a taser in the other. Word had gotten back to her that Jock wasn't just defending Rashida. Online, he was filming scenes with her, touching her hand, wiping her tears, whispering, "You deserve better." Like he didn't have a whole marriage of his own. What does Kendra do? She doesn't wait for a green room, she doesn't call Mona, she doesn't send a warning text. Mona walks on set unannounced, right in the middle of a group scene being shot, with Jock, Rashida, and Spice cameras already rolling, and without missing a beat, Kendra says, "So this what we doing now?" You holding her hand on camera like I don't exist. Jock chokes on his water, Rashida's eyes go wide, Mona whispers to the director, "Zoom in, don't you dare cut," and then the meltdown begins. Jock stands up, nervous. Kendra, "It ain't like that, Kendra was just, but she ain't having it, don't." Kendra, "Me, you didn't defend me like that when I was crying about your cheating, but you out here acting like Rashida's therapist," and then turning to Rashida, she adds, "Sis, no offense, but if you needed healing, you could have called a pastor, not my damn husband." Few Rashida, who's been trying to play mature and silent this whole time, finally snaps. She stands up and says, "Your husband came to me, I didn't ask for his sympathy, Spice, his advice, or his little weak shoulder." Then she points, "And let's not act like you didn't DM me last year about your own insecurities, Kendra." The room explodes, Carly Red screaming, "Oh my god." Spice hiding behind a chair, producers ducking for cover like gunshots just went off. Kendra steps closer, "Say that again." Rashida steps closer, "I said, check your man before you come for me." And then boom, security rushes, and do no hands were thrown yet, but we're talking full reality TV tension. Jock pulls Kendra back, she's yelling, he's fumbling, Rashida adjusts her mic like she's ready to fight in a bet blazer, and in the background Kirk's snack tray, watching, smirking, eating grapes. Yes, this man is actually holding a damn snack tray like he's watching Love and Hip Hop at home. The audacity. But wait, it gets better, because right when things seem like they might settle down, Kirk decides to speak, yep, out loud, into the tension, into the storm. He raises his voice and says, "You two fighting over Jock is wild. I left Rashida and she still can't let go of drama." The room gasps. Rashida turns slowly like a villain in a horror movie. "I didn't let go. You showed up with a rapper who couldn't even chart in her own zip code." Reinie, who had just walked in silently behind the cameras, heard that she storms in from the shadows like an Instagram villain and claps back, "Say it to my face, boutique Barbie." And Rashida, "Does your A-side piece with a ring that don't mean tea?" And bam, drinks fly, not a slap, but the wine glass connection was strong. Security launches into full chaos control. Jock is blocking Kendra. Kirk grabs Reinie's arm. Mona's laughing in the corner like she just got renewed for 5 more seasons. And what happens next? Everything gets leaked within hours. A bootleg iPhone clip of the fight hits Twitter, hashtag SGO wild, Rashida hashtag JOK innocent, Kendra snapped, hashtag Mon mastermind. The clip hits 5 million views in 10 hours, people calling it the greatest reality TV war since Cardi vs. Nicki. And then out of nowhere, Rashida goes live, hair in a messy bun, no glam, no filter, just real. "I don't want Kirk back." Pain. She looks dead into the camera and says, "I spent years being the strong wife, taking the hits, staying quiet, but now I'm done." She takes a long pause, then adds, "I don't want Kirk back, I don't want Jock either, I want my peace, and none of y'all ever gave it to me." Mick dropped the comments, explode even fanswo dragged her, are now rooting for her, and just when you think the storm is over, the H1 posts a teaser, a reunion trailer, all cast members present Rashida. Reunion trailer in the center, Kirk to her right, Reinie, glaring from across the stage, Jock holding his breath, Kendra with her arms crossed, the narrator says. One marriage ended, one ring was exposed, but the truth, that's still waiting backstage. Boom, so who won? What do we have here, Chowry? Sab, a full 11-day storyline that started with a breakup and ended with a televised war, and who won not? Kirk, not Jock, not Reinie, not even Kendra, the real winner Mona Scott, because she just created the most viral scandal in love and hip-hop history, and she didn't even need to write a script. The cast did it all on their own, so now that the dust has settled, the wigs have shifted. The glasses have shattered, and Kirk's dignity is still missing. The only question left is what now? Is Rashida finally free, or is she about to fall for her? What now? Jock's fake protector energy and end up in a whole new mess. Will Reinie get her own spin-off as the side chick that snatched the storyline? And is Kendra going to serve Jock legal papers, or just serve him public humiliation on part 2 of the reunion? Because let's be real, this ain't just love and hip-hop anymore. This is love and lawsuits, love and live streams, love and lies, and Mona Scott. Osha's probably somewhere in a silk robe sipping tea, whispering keep rolling. So now it's your turn, drop a comment below. Outro, and tell us, was Kirk right to leave Rashida? Is Reinie out of line, or playing the game better than anyone? And is young Jock really just being a friend, or plotting his next confession booth? Smash that like button if you're still recovering from this mess. Subscribe for more breakdowns. Androsips. Because if this is what season 1 looks like, imagine what happens when the reunion lights come on. And remember, in this game of love, loyalty, and leaked Ms. somebody always filming. See you next episode, Messy fam.